For a generation of Germans, the Berlin Wall represented the brutal reality of the Cold War, the symbol of an oppressive regime, desperate to keep its people isolated from the free world. At the end of the Second World War, Germany was split, the Allied powers occupying the West and the Soviet Union the East.
From Stettin in the Baltic to Trieste in the Adriatic, an iron curtain has descended across the continent.
Berlin, which lay in the Soviet zone, was also divided. Over the course of the 1950s, East Germany became increasingly repressive, prompting a mass exodus of around 3 million of its citizens. The Soviet state responded by imprisoning its people. On August 13th, 1961, as Berliners slept, an army of construction workers sealed off the west of the city, erecting concrete posts and barbed wire. Those who awoke in the newly fortified East would be stuck there for the next 28 years. Wrapping around the west of the city, the Berlin Wall was 155 kilometres in length and quickly grew into a solid concrete wall, reinforced with steel and bristling with machine guns. There were openings, the most famous being Checkpoint Charlie, which allowed those with special permission to cross the border. During the 1970s, the wall stood nearly 4 metres tall and an inner wall had been added. A no man's land was created on the exterior, patrolled by soldiers with dogs. The East Germans also installed electric fences, floodlights, 300 watchtowers and minefields. Yet it's estimated 5,000 people succeeded in escaping to the west by digging tunnels, ramming the wall and even using a homemade hot air balloon. This only hardened the resolve of the East German dictatorship. They tore down buildings and established the death strip, an area that allowed a clear line of sight for East German soldiers who had orders to shoot anyone trying to escape. It's believed as many as 239 people were killed at the border. The East German fortress began to crack in the late 80s as communism faltered in Poland, Hungary and Czechoslovakia, opening up a new escape route.
Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall.
Germans living under communist rule were restless, and as protests grew, East German leader Erich Honecker resigned, having lost the support of reformist Soviet leader Mikhail Gorbachev. Without warning, on November 9, 1989, the regime threw open the border checkpoints, allowing people to freely cross for the first time in 3 decades. And then, bit by bit, people began chipping at the wall. They hit it, they climbed it, and they celebrated on it.
Like all the changes that have swept East Germany recently, the beginning of the end for the Berlin Wall came much sooner than was expected.
As hammers and chisels were replaced by bulldozers and wrecking balls, the celebrations spread across Germany and across the world. Within a year, the wall was down, Germany was reunified, and the Cold War was over.